Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack complex topics using key source materials, getting you up to speed quickly. Today, we're looking at something pretty ambitious, a strategic roadmap for the naturopathic profession across Europe.
Yeah, it's quite the challenge they've set themselves, trying to unify a whole field across, dozens of countries, different languages, laws.
Exactly. Imagine trying to create a single identity, a standard practice, and official recognition for all of that. That's what we're digging into. We're using a document called 10 puntos clave para la potenciación del espacio europeo de la profesión naturopática. 10 key points, essentially. And our mission today is to unpack the main hurdles and the big picture goals outlined in this source. So you're going to find out how a profession actually tries to get conceptual clarity, as they put it, and gain widespread recognition. It really highlights the sheer complexity of harmonizing standards across so many different national contexts. Okay, let's unpack this. The document says the very first step, number one, is just getting everyone on the same page about what naturopathy is.
Establishing a standardized glossary, a unified taxonomy.
And this isn't just wordplay, is it?
No, not at all. It's fascinating, actually, how fundamental this is. I mean, before you regulate, before you promote, you have to agree on the basic language.
Right.
The source gives specific examples like terreno vital.
Which is sort of the body's innate vitality or healing capacity.
Kind of, yeah. And hygiodysfunction, those subtle imbalances before real disease kicks in. And praxeologia, which is basically their term for their professional methods and scope. And the why behind this is key. It's to stop ambiguity, to present a clear professional identity, not just internally, but to society, to institutions, even to other health fields.
So it's about defining themselves clearly.
It's foundational. Think about the negotiation involved just to get that agreement across different countries and traditions. It's like building the bedrock.
So, okay, that definition part, it goes deeper than just terms. The roadmap really pushes naturopathy's focus on salutogenesis and hygiogenesis.
Exactly. Promoting health, supporting the body's own regulation, rather than just zeroing in on disease after it happens.
And the document is really clear. They want to avoid being reduced to just an alternative therapy or some kind of traditional medicine.
Yes, they're aiming higher. They want to be seen as an autonomous discipline. Within health sciences, sure, but with its own unique role in health promotion and education.
But, let's be real. Some people do view naturopathy skeptically, maybe seeing it precisely as alternative. Right. Is it realistic to completely shake that label? Does the plan address that perception challenge head on?
That's a fair point. The roadmap's ambition is that paradigm shift, positioning themselves as proactive health science. They argue this focus on salutogenesis isn't just a detail, it's core to their identity.
Okay.
Now, the document doesn't explicitly list, PR campaigns to counter skepticism, but the whole strategy, the unified language, the evidence base we'll get to, that's their answer. Define yourself clearly before others do it for you.
Right, define the narrative. So that's the identity piece. But then how do they build credibility? How do they assure quality, especially across all of Europe?
Well, that takes us straight into their push for Naturopatia basada en la evidencia, NBE, evidence-based naturopathy.
NBE, okay.
And they frame this as their core scientific methodology. It's about integrating clinical research evidence.
Right, the studies, the data.
Yes, but also weaving that together with professional experience, the practitioner's own clinical wisdom, and the preferences and values of the salutant.
Salutant, that's their term for the patient, emphasizing their active role.
Exactly. So it's a three-legged stool, really. Research experience and the individual's input.
So the goal is showing biological plausibility, demonstrating efficacy, making the case that naturopathy is rigorous, it's current.
Precisely. Positioning it as a serious health discipline.
But that does raise a question, doesn't it? How do you actually bridge that gap between traditional knowledge, which often comes from long practice, and modern scientific validation, like RCTs? Is this NBE framework their bridge?
It seems to be, yeah. And it's complex, like what counts as clinical research evidence for practices that don't neatly fit standard trial models. The roadmap suggests some flexibility there, maybe valuing different kinds of evidence.
Interesting. So acknowledging that challenge.
It definitely opens up discussion, and maybe even critique from the mainstream scientific community. But alongside NBE, the other big pillar for credibility is harmonization of professional training.
Education standards. Trying to get everyone on the same page with curricula across Europe. For both initial training and ongoing professional development, that sounds like a massive job.
Well, it's monumental. You've got wildly different national systems now, some academic, some more vocational.
So overcoming those existing structures.
That takes serious political will, plus a clear, agreed-upon benchmark for what makes someone a qualified naturopath. But think of the payoff.
Consistency.
Consistent quality, easier for professionals to move between countries, and crucially, mutual recognition of qualifications. You need that for any kind of integrated profession.
That makes total sense. Okay, so identity evidence education, that's the internal foundation. How does the strategy then aim to carve out a real recognized space for naturopaths in the European job market? Moving into practical recognition, letting them practice across borders.
Right. This is where the creation of a European occupational profile comes in.
An official job description, basically. Recognized EU-wide.
That's the idea, like an official passport for the profession within the EU system. It needs to clearly define the functions, their responsibilities, their competencies.
And really spell out what makes them distinct from, say, a doctor or a physiotherapist.
Exactly. It differentiates them, and it's vital for getting naturopathy included properly in European labor classifications.
So connecting the dots, this isn't just bureaucracy. It's about reshaping the legal and economic playing field for them across the whole continent. That profile is like the master key to visibility and, well, jobs across borders. The negotiation needed for that at the EU level must be huge.
Immense. It gets them cataloged, accepted in that complex European labor setup, and once you have that profile...
Then you need the actual freedom to move.
Precisely. The next step is libre circulation de professionnels, free movement of professionals. Freedom of establishment, freedom to practice anywhere in the EU.
Wow.
But that absolutely requires a common professional registration system. You need a way to guarantee that someone qualified in, say, Spain meets the standards to practice in Germany, ensures quality control everywhere.
That's a massive infrastructure project in itself, like a mini EU for naturopathy.
You could see it that way, and tightly linked to that is the push for legal and regulatory recognition.
So getting laws passed in countries where naturopathy isn't formally recognized yet.
Yes, and making sure that recognition comes with a proper regulatory framework.
Which means?
Codes of ethics, practice standards, things that protect both the professionals and the public. It builds trust, provides accountability, and pulls the profession out of any legal gray zones.
Okay, so we've covered identity, credibility through evidence and education, and then getting formal recognition and mobility. What's the high-level game plan? How do they plan to actually influence policy and drive this forward?
Well, a key part is interlocución estratégica con organismos y instituciones. Strategic dialogue with bodies and institutions.
Talking to the big players.
Yeah.
European Parliament, Commission, WHO, Europe.
Exactly. Direct, effective communication. They need to present a unified, well-argued case to actually influence health policy and regulation at the European level. It's about getting that seat at the table.
Makes sense. But to have a unified voice, you need strong internal organization, right?
Absolutely. Which is why the roadmap talks about fortalecimiento del Comité Europeo de la Profesión Naturopática, strengthening the European Committee, the CEPN.
That's their main umbrella group.
Yes, the main representative and coordinating body. Strengthening it means centralizing initiatives, getting all the national associations singing from the same hymn sheet, and having CEPN lead that dialogue with the European institutions. It's the designated driver for this whole agenda.
Okay. Central leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one more piece. They want to be data-driven, which sounds maybe a bit unexpected for a field sometimes seen as more traditional.
It is interesting, isn't it? They plan the desarrollo de Observatorio Profesional Europeo development of a European professional observatory.
An observatory to watch.
To collect data on everything. Naturopathic practice, research outcomes, training effectiveness, even tracking the labor market across Europe for naturopaths.
So it's not just collecting data for data's sake.
No, it's strategic intelligence.
Right.
It's crucial for making evidence-based decisions about their own strategy and for monitoring progress, seeing what's working, what's not. It lets them show their impact with actual numbers, justifying their policy asks.
Okay, so putting it all together, what does this roadmap mean for you, listening? You're basically seeing the blueprint for how a profession systematically tries to build its foundation, its credibility, and its influence.
Mm-hmm. From defining basic terms to demanding evidence to lobbying Brussels to setting up a data hub.
It's incredibly thorough, and the goal stated in the source is clear. Achieve conceptual clarity to become a profession fully recognized, valued, and harmonized in all of Europe. That's a huge ambition.
It really is.
So here's something to think about. What are the wider implications when a profession takes such a proactive stance in defining itself, its evidence standards, its regulations, all on an international scale like this?
Yeah. What could this mean for other health disciplines, especially those that are emerging or maybe sit outside the mainstream, but are also seeking broader recognition and integration into health systems, nationally or internationally?
It's not just a plan for naturopathy, is it? It could be seen as a potential model, a case study in professional transformation, something to definitely keep an eye on.